Welcome back to our show. You know, dealing with out-of-control debt can be overwhelming and can add unwanted stress and strain to your life, which can affect your job, your relationships, and more.
But there are options to help you get debt under control and make a clean financial start. Here to explain is Lucas Garcia with Clean Start Law Firm. Thank you for being here, Lucas. We hear all the time about financial stress people are under. What are the signs that people should look for to tell them, you know what, we should start to consider things like bankruptcy?
I have three distinct signs that I try to point out to people when they're looking for when should I consider bankruptcy. The first one is based on what a lot of economic strategists will say. They will say that if you have a greater than 20% of your gross income as your debt load that you're carrying, you are probably a prime candidate for bankruptcy. Another great one is if more than 25% of your monthly income is being dedicated to paying just debts that are not for something like a home or a car. So if you are just paying credit card debts and you're coming up to about the 20 to 25% mark per month, then that is one of the other great signs. Those ones come from economists, but then there's mine. I'm not an economist. Mine is if you are hitting that point where you don't know what to do. If you're at a point where you are looking 5 years into the future and saying these debts will still be here, and I will still be just a fraction of the way into paying them off at the way that things are going, then those are the three biggest signs. When you don't have a plan that has you done in 5 years, or if you are spending too much of your monthly income, or if it's too great a percentage of your annual income.
Now, what are most people fearful of when they contemplate bankruptcy?
There's two things that people are usually fearful of. One of them is that they're going to be that they're somehow doing something that's wrong, even though this is something that is a code book that's yay thick and was designed by tons of input from not only senators and Congress members and presidents and economists and every kind of the same people that are sending you the bills each month. All the folks over there at Visa and MasterCard and American Express who are sending you the bills, all of them had their input, and this has been around for a really long time. People are just very worried about that this is something that they're not allowed to do. And it's very, very interesting to see that when this is designed for them to get relief and to get back out into contributing with their income instead of being locked into sort of a subsistence living.
Sure.
And the other thing that they seem to be so fearful of is that they're just going to have everything taken away from them, which is far not the case. I mean, nothing could be further from the truth that they will not have like all of their possessions and worldly goods and belongings and children and everything else taken away from them just for doing this.
So their assets, because that is a big issue, they will not lose their assets?
In most cases, in probably 95 or more % of the people that come into my office, there is nothing that they're going to end up giving up in this process of bankruptcy. Sometimes there are. Of course, there's going to be some reasonableness if you have an incredible amount of equity in some sort of liquid form. You know, you got a whole lot of cash in the bank sitting there, and by a whole lot, I mean in the $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 range. There's a good chance you're going to be paying a portion of your debts back using that. But even then, it's still just a fraction, a percentage of what you owe. But in most cases, nobody is losing anything. Your car, you're still going to have your car. Your house, you're still going to have your house. Your jewelry, your sentimental things around the house, those things are all going to stay in place. There's protections in the law to keep those items because, again, bankruptcy is designed to be rehabilitative. It's designed to get you back out in that place of not being so non-contributive.
Okay.
What kind of debt will bankruptcy relieve?
It'll relieve any kind of unsecured debts and any secured debts where you're trying to get rid of the item. So essentially, if you've got 3 cars, one of them's just weighing you down, you're trying to get rid of that car, that's a secured debt. It'll give you an opportunity to surrender something like that. But it will also get rid of any sort of unsecured debts, your credit cards, your medical bills, your debt to a hard money lender, your various other kinds of, it can't even get rid of tax debts, certain tax debts. It's really easier to list the stuff it can't get rid of in the sense that, like, if you owe, criminal restitution for something you did wrong, those won't go away. Spousal support or alimony payments won't go away. That's about, some of the short list of things that won't disappear.
But it will take the pressure off.
We know
Yes.
That you enjoy being a bankruptcy attorney because of the relief that you see when people walk in and out of your office, and you're so good at it. How can someone get started? Is it by contacting you guys?
Yeah, what you would do is just give us a call. You can set up an appointment with any one of our lawyers, myself included. You can get an appointment with us to have a free look over your financial situation and to really see, instead of making the assumption yourself, really see if, from a bankruptcy attorney's perspective, if it's right for you.
All right, and there are all your locations and how we can get a hold of you too.
Great info on the website too if people have questions, I think, or concerns.
Thank you.
That's a great way to get
Thank
started.
you. We try to have a lot there for everyone.
All right, Lucas Garcia, thank you, sir, for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks,
right.
Lucas.
Always
Great
a pleasure.
information today.
Yes, I know.
Learning all sorts of stuff.
That
Yeah.
and we get to eat. You know, it's